Welcome back, boys.
What's up?
How's it going? So we're just going to do a quick rundown of our Sweet 16 picks. We'll start with the Thursday games, then go to the Friday games. Obviously, the most important one for us is versus Creighton, and that will be the last game of the Sweet 16. So a lot of drama there, but I feel like we can start with the first, the West region, Arizona versus Clemson. Arizona is a 7-point favorite, and the over/under is 152. Give me Clemson on this. I think the ACC is doing really well covering spreads. Arizona is a good team, but we sort of saw lapses in defense last game at least. I watched their game versus Dayton with our good friend Mr. Kim, and really saw that Arizona could not really put them away. They fluctuated to up 15, up 4, up 15, up 4, settled on 10. They covered the number, but not very convincingly. I do not feel very confident in their defense. And Clemson has just really been a solid team. So, your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, so for me, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with the way the second round game worked out for them. But I think Zona's going to cover just because I don't have a lot of faith in Clemson. I think Clemson, I think they're going to run into their first true tough opponent. I mean, first and second round games, I think they're kind of a crapshoot sometimes. But now that people start getting settled into the tournament, they have a better opportunity to scout the opposing team when they're going into the Sweet 16 versus, the quick turn and burn from conference tournament for the first round. And then, you win your first round game and then you got basically a day in order to get ready for the next team. So I think Zona's going to cover the spread here. So, and they'll move on to the Elite Eight.
Frank?
I'm thinking this is a very tight game. I see it as Clemson actually leading at halftime. And if you bet Clemson, you're probably going to be feeling really good at halftime. And you're going to be sweating at the end. I think Arizona does win the game. But, it's going to be one of those free throws at the end where Clemson, it's like a 5-point game or a 6-point game. I think the spread's pretty right on at 7. So it's going to be like if the guy misses a free throw at the end of the game, Arizona covers, or if he, misses it or makes it, is going to win you or lose your money on this one. Personally, I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't touch this one. But I would go Clemson though. At the end of the day,
it's going to be a sweat 16 instead of a Sweet 16.
It's definitely a sweat game where Arizona wins, probably between 5 to 9 points. So, it's a really a 50-50 flip on this one, for me at least. So I hate to say Naveen is right or Josh is right. I'm honestly completely in the middle. So if I'm us, we're laying off this one. Genuinely, I think.
Maybe you Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. You think of that 7 points. I mean, that's just a 3-possession game, right? So I think easily Zona covers a 3-possession margin in this game. So +7, it doesn't really doesn't strike any fear in my gambling heart.
So that's exactly why I'm afraid, and that's why I would go on Clemson. Is because
we're going Clemson.
Once you're past the 6.5, I kind of think about 6.5 in basketball as 7.5 in football. It's past the Rubicon of being just 1 possession, 2 possession, 3 possession game. So, oh man,
Big Roman, ready to go.
As a beard.
The Jeep shirt, upside down. I love it.
So yeah,
what's up, boys?
What's up, Roman?
What's up,
basically, we're talking about Arizona, Clemson. Frank's on the fence. I'm on Clemson. Josh is on Arizona. So you could be the hero and be the tiebreaker here, Roman, or you could be the you could also take the Switzerland position that Frank is
I
taking.
only have one question. What is Josh on?
I knew he was about to say that. He's going to say
Josh is on Arizona.
And Frank is on Arizona.
No. I'm on the
Frank-
fence on this one, Roman. I think it's going to be Clemson,
I need to
but
hear
I
it
think
from you.
Arizona wins the game. I think Clemson covers, Arizona wins the game.
I mean, I feel like
By the
I
way,
feel like,
real quick, my last 3, I'm 3-0. So
then I have to follow Josh here.
Okay.
I mean, look, it's been very interesting. I think it's been a very interesting tournament with the kind of like chalk versus dog action. So it feels like if it's like, and I think when the chalk covers by a lot, and when a dog covers, dog just fucking wins outright. So like it's been a very interesting tournament. I wish this was like trading, because you can just like trade the spread, like it's just gonna be like either if the Arizona wins, they like win by 40, or Clemson just wins by 10, like outright winner. I wish I could take that, but I think I think Clemson has come as a big just underdog in this whole tournament in itself, and a lot of people are probably surprised to see him here in the first place.
yeah, they were at large bid for sure.
So do we just think that they like the Cinderella story is over here, and they really don't deserve to be here?
I think she's going to
I
find her
lean that way.
I think she's
Yep.
finding her slipper +7.
It
They don't
seems-
have to advance. Again, we're
It
talking
seems like
about
it seems like a gutsy performance from Clemson, and they barely lose the game.
One thing that stands out to me, though, guys, is this number is way too high. I think I might go under on every single over-under for the Sweet 16. Just do it as an experimentation. 152, their last game was like 136, and that seems about right. I wouldn't go past 140 on this game. So, I have a lean on Clemson +7, but like my blast would be under here.
So Frank, would you hedge and just go money line?
I don't know. It's one of those things like we were watching the overtime game the other day,
The double
and
overtime.
overtime, and then I think this is a game that doesn't go to overtime, but I see Clemson winning by like 2 or 3 points at half and really gutting out a tough loss. So I think Arizona pulls it out by like 3 or 4. I think 7's too high. I think like 4.5 is really the right number. So like I think 7's just a high number for a team that's been playing very, very gutsy.
See, that's the other thing too, because
+7.
because the viewers should know that the amount of money that has gone out of my pocket on 0.5 or 1 point. I mean, and I'm not even counting where like the team lost, because like it's hard to say, well, you lost by 0.1 if you took a money line and the team lost by 1.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different. But like the 4.5 minus 4.5, it ends at 4 minus 5.5. Team is up 6, and a random freaking, just two, like I think we had that twice or 3 times at the
we had that 3
buzzer at the half. The team that's down just shoots up a random 2, and it goes in to screw the hook. So the lines have been an absolute monster, just in general. So it's very hard to. I agree. These points are going to be worth it. So I think the safe bet here is probably take the points. But I mean, I like this year also, like teams that in the past, like Gonzaga, I guess we'll cover it also, but teams that in the past have been kind of the dominant teams everybody expected to do well, they have underperformed. This year they're performing. Like Arizona is performing this year. Gonzaga is performing this year. Tennessee is performing this year. So maybe we got to take the teams that are sort of like felt that the betting public and just the general public has fallen out of love with, and just give them the credit this year. So I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna have to take the chalk here. That's my call, but I might flip.
Okay, so Basically, Roman is picking everything. He's going to be on over under spread and fading the spread. So.
The thing is, if I'm on everything and it ends at that 0.5, I might actually win everything. If I'm like if I'm on if I'm on like plus 6.5 and minus 4, I actually might win the 5.
Yep.
So maybe Arizona money line at halftime because they're going to be losing.
Okay. All right.
You know.
So next game we got is UNC versus Bama. Josh, I'm going to start with you. Minus 4.5 UNC over under 173.5. Thoughts?
I would say blast 173.5. Yeah, over that because it's going to be a high scoring. It's going to be a very high scoring game, and I mean, I think both teams get into the 90s. And I think that Alabama is actually going to pull the upset here.
Okay. Frank.
I disagree with that. But, you know, the only pick I liked overall is the minus 4.5 North Carolina. Out of the Sweet 16, that's probably my favorite pick. I think I agree with Josh in that there's going to be a lot of scoring in the game. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like run and gun offense for Bama, and North Carolina has the players to keep up with it. So
you're going to see how well they can shoot in person.
I mean, the pick I would really take it just over here at the end of the day. So I'd agree with Josh on the over. It's going to be run and gun all the way.
All right, Roman.
I mean, with our two resident squares, Frank and Josh both agreeing on the most square pick of the Sweet 16, I feel like this game is going to go to like 120 and die there. I mean,
okay.
I can see it. No, I can see it. I can see it. I can see the Brick Lane competition. I can see a giant, tower of bricks, like the Pisa Tower, just going up and up and up and up. 10%, 20% shooting, 0% from the three. Naveen, there you go. Naveen is showing us what this game could become. This game could easily become a Brick Lane competition. We just saw what a Brick Lane competition can look like. Tennessee, Texas, 105. We're talking about 173.5. Look, this is an NBA. Well, not today's NBA, but your dad's NBA. This was the line. Like your daddy was betting over 173.5. And at the NBA, these are not college level lines. And even though these games have keep going over, I think this is this is very high. It's very square, and all the squares are on this. So I just have to take the under here.
Yeah, Roman, I tend to agree with you. I don't have bricks on my background for no reason. It's going to be I don't think it's going to be 120, but you have so much room, right? Between 120 and 170.
150, yeah. I mean, you just have to go in the 5 minutes of no scoring. You have to go like 5-6 minutes of no scoring, and 150 is just guaranteed.
75, 70, UNC covers. That's my prediction. I do have, baby blue glasses on, but I do have a stat that when one seed is favored by more than 4 versus a 4 seed, they're something like 81% ATS. So we have that situation here.
We all know North Carolina is lucky to even be a 1 seed.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, and I think that Bama is lucky to fucking make it versus Grand Canyon, man. Like, I did not see that much good basketball being played by Bama. They went on a miracle 10-0 run to end the game. Not to say that UNC has crushed super hard either.
I was about to say they didn't look too great on their second round game.
But I think UNC has this combination of size and shooting that should bother Bama enough to cover this 4.5. So give me the UNC.
There's an unfortunate, depending on how you look at it, but I just pulled up Bama's ATS and under/over performance. I mean, they have been covering the over past, I mean, I'm just eyeballing it, but at least like past like 12, 13 games, it looks like, the over is just like 10-2. They did not, the game went under. Last game against Grand Canyon went under. I would say went over the game before.
Yeah, that was their stinker. They're due. They're due.
Right. So I mean, right, because it was literally like starting with Miss State February 3rd, but the line was only 157 there. But and I wish I had the but even eyeballing it,
I think Bama's the only school to score 100 points in the tournament so far this year.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you look at it, like, like after Miss State, right? Like, I mean, the lines were like 174, 176, but games are like 103.88, 117.95, 98.93. I mean, these are all healthy covers over the line. And honestly, like, yeah, the reason I think it's even more under here is because, like, why isn't this 175.5? Like, why isn't this 176? That kind of line. If everyone is just like saying it's like so over, but it's just like back to the middle. Like they had 173.5, 173 last game, 172 the game before. So it doesn't look like the line is really streaming up relative to what it could be. So I don't know. I feel like if it was really going to closer to 200, I would have like to see like 176, which Bama has gotten and has covered. But the fact is, like, 173, a few times Bama had 173, it actually went under. Like against Tennessee, 173 was an under. Last game,
because Tennessee ranks in the top 3 in adjusted defensive efficiency. North Carolina.
Where does Carolina rank?
They're not even top 10.
And then, but then let's look at. Let me give me a second here. I'm pulling. This is ready to roll. So let me see. Let me look at Carolina. Carolina lines. I mean, but look at this. Carolina, like, their overs don't even typically go over like 150, right? Like they mostly get like 143. I mean, against Wagner, whatever. I mean, the spread was ridiculous, but that was a 134, and then some of the lines before that, 145, 148, 150.5, 139. So like their average kind of line where North Carolina games go is like 150, right? Which is high for college, right? So, I mean, still, like, are we going to just say that both teams are going to go into this like crazy shootout and it's going to be like the bad brand of?
That's pretty much what's going to happen, Roman.
But is the ball?
They both teams score a very high rate,
But
they don't play defense and they both score a lot.
Yeah,
both teams suck at defense and they score.
Golden State, it's like Golden State versus Golden State.
Look, I'm going to look at this. So points, offensive stat comparison, points per game. We got 90 for Alabama, 81 for UNC. So assuming they score at will and hit their averages, right? Bama would score 90, UNC would score 81. That's, whoever's doing the math, that's 172 right there, right? Defensive stat comparison, right? UNC, opponent's points per game, 70, right? Bama, 80. So, right, like this is definitely, leaning towards that, nobody's going to be able to basically, everybody's going to be making every basket. And there's going to be no defense. But I think, UNC, I want to see I'm trying to see if I can see like their actual like rankings for their stats. I should be able to, right? Somewhere. But I want to see like where they really rank.
This is the half a point you'll lose. The total in this game is 174.
Oh, okay. Let's say power rankings. Let me see this. This is the not power rankings. I wanted to get the actual like key, like
we'll come back to you on that. Let's start with the next one.
Yeah.
So I'll start with this. This is a fucking mega smash, UConn and under. I know I'm continuously saying under. but it's not a joke, guys. This when you see a huge spread in Sweet 16, you know that this shit is going under, man. It's going way, way, way under. I don't think it gets past 125. I think you might also want to do like my move from 2017. Take the opponent team total under. Do it. It's a lock. I will get you that number, but I want Josh's thoughts on this game. What are you thinking?
I think any better is going to be doing that. They're just going to be peeking out of their eye and they're just hoping and praying, right? Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think this is an under game. UConn, I think they're gonna be really challenged to cover that 11-point game. So yeah, I stay away from the spread on this. I think UConn wins, but I think they're also, like you said, I agree, they're going to be under the 136.
Yeah, and this is the rematch of the national championship game, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
so that tends to be a rock fight. You know what I mean? Like just defensive rock fight. Everybody's tight. They're not loose, and they miss a lot of easy shots that they normally make just because of the pressure of the game.
Yeah, so that team total I was talking about is 62.5. I don't think San Diego State gets there at all. I think the number starts with a 5. They're scoring, so I'm gonna do a full smash. UConn -11, under 136. San Diego State team total under 62.5.
So you think UConn covers the 11?
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to be a big time smash.
Okay.
I'll agree with you on that, Naveen. Totally agree. I saw UConn playing for a national championship this year. So I don't think San Diego State is the team that they were last year. I think their run's over. I think UConn's up by 15 at the half. The over-under is going to be pretty tight. It's going to be close at 136. But, I do think UConn is going to take care of them at the end of the day. They're probably going to win by 15 to 25 points. So the over-under, I don't know. It's very close. It's a very close one. It could be like 80-60, But UConn is definitely winning the game. There's no doubt about that. And they're definitely covering too. Probably the biggest win of this round is UConn. Biggest point spread win.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it should be higher, honestly. I think it should be 15.5, 16.5, something like that.
Oof.
Wow. Alt spread alert for Frank.
Wow. I've heard some bad takes on this show, but I want to say this might have been the worst.
Okay.
Go ahead. Speak to it. Go ahead.
You're on a podcast.
No, that's it.
You just talked for fucking 10 minutes about UNC.
Wait a minute. We're talking. Hold on a second. This is college. College is situational stuff. Like, it's not about stats. These are 18-year-old kids. It's not about stats. Look, I think UConn has been highly overrated as a team in general, and I think that
you carrying water for him last week,
dude. It's media.
No.
He can flip.
No, wait a minute. No, I don't think I was carrying water for UConn.
Oh,
not for UConn, not for Purdue.
It was Bobby
Not
Boucher for UConn last week.
I'm pretty sure I saw water bottles in your pocket, Roman.
I've been on Gonzaga and Bama since the beginning.
UConn. I thought you were the long lost son of Diana.
No. Wait a minute. No. I want to see proof. I mean, it's all recorded. I don't remember carrying anything for UConn at any point in time. I almost wish Stetson beat them. Look, San Diego State against UConn. This is some situational matchup. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people predict. I think taking these Giants, it's like at some point you have to stop taking giant spreads. Teams that make it to the Sweet 16, they are deserving to be here, and it's ridiculous. I mean, why isn't Arizona Clemson -11, right? Like, let's be real here.
Clemson's good.
Clemson's going to probably cover them. That's why.
San Diego State is not good. I remember Frank very distinctly saying San Diego State is amazing when the season started. When the season started, I remember
they made the Final Four last year.
San Diego State winning the whole thing when the season started because you were impressed how much they play. So like, look, they're not a bad team.
Yeah, they made the runner-up. Yeah, they were in the
and they made the runner-up. So
and they got smoked by 17 in the national championship by UConn. It just all comes full circle.
Yeah, but
they're not the same team, Roman. There's different guys on the team from last year.
There's different guys on the team, but look, it's situational. I think you have to assume that this game is gonna the UConn is not gonna blow them out again here. And I think with a chip on their shoulder, I think San Diego State is gonna show up. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be by 25. Or whatever Frank said. That's the part where I think was like just that's just egregious. I don't think UConn is going to blow them up by 15 or 25. The spread is too high as it is, and I think we're going to see a lot of sharp action.
You're agreeing with me. You're agreeing with me. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. I think we're going to see. It's hard to see sharp action it's hard to find statistics for sharp action. But when everybody goes on their Twitters and so on and so forth, you guys are going to keep seeing this. That sharps are going to be betting San Diego State. This line will probably even come down, to something a little like within the 10 or whatnot. But the sharp action is going to be on San Diego State. Situational matchup for any college sport is super, super important. San Diego State is not a bad team. And I think that, I wouldn't be surprised if UConn wins by 15, but I think like betting on UConn to win by 15 here or 20 and just blow them out in Sweet 16, I think is not the right pick.
We shall see.
Next game, we got Iowa State, Illinois. I have Iowa State as my national champion here, but I think this is an Illinois smash. Illinois has Terrence Shannon Jr., 24 points a game. Iowa State, we saw a very shaky performance from them last game. I think they still covered their number, but it was weird game. So I think that for this game, I would go with plus 1.5 Illinois, and it seems like a weird spread. Roman, your thoughts?
No, I just had a bunch of airtime. It has to go to another person.
Okay. Josh?
It's Iowa State.
And I also need to be able to rip on somebody. I can't start.
God.
Roman cannot be the ripper of the information,
Yeah,
he can't let it rip.
I can't give you the
He needs to respond.
And yes, exactly.
Needs to respond to it.
He's got to have time to do his research.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
So Iowa State is winning the game. It's going to go over. Iowa State is never losing this game. They just aren't going to. All right. Iowa State's in the Final Four this year. 1.5. 1.5 is silly. It should be 5.5, 6.5 Iowa State. That's what I said.
Alternate lines.
Josh, do you need any time to look up stats, or can you give us your read here?
Me?
No, Josh.
Oh, Josh. Yeah,
no, I got the read on it here. Iowa State, they played in a great conference and performed well all year. Illinois, they weren't battle tested that much, and they were very shaky against a lot of teams that I saw them play. Even their last game in the tournament, and Tennessee did what they did to them, and that's my lasting memory of Illinois. So, I say pile Iowa State to cover this. I'll also say I like the over on this game. I think it's going to be a little bit more than 146. I'd say it's probably going to trend to like the 152, 154 mark.
Okay, Roman.
Don't have a good read here. I just love Frank's. Frank should be the bookie. He should be setting lines. I would love it. Like I want to be betting the plus 5.5 here, plus 15.5 there. I love it.
Losing by half a point, also, Roman. I would say by 6.
I would finally stop losing by half a point. I would start losing by 4 points. If I'm betting U lines, at least I'll be like, damn it, they got me. But I don't know. I mean, Naveen is just so strong in Iowa State. So it's like every time I look at Iowa State, I'm like, but Naveen is so, he has such a good view on them. So I always have to just yield to Naveen's willpower here and take Iowa State. I don't know, Naveen. Where are you on this?
He took
I'm on
Illinois.
I faded myself.
Illinois.
Yeah, I faded myself. I know.
Are you fading yourself out of just sheer fading?
No, I want money. My bracket is free, and my fucking pick on tomorrow is not for free. So I got
seriously. You think Iowa State's going to lose this game?
Dude, I think this is the worst. This is the worst line for of heavy favorite or a decent favorite in the tournament to be -1.5 only versus Illinois. Something wrong.
Illinois is not
something wrong.
Something wrong, man.
Something wrong. Something wrong.
Exactly.
Unless it's like some, bookie.
I know this
going on.
This opened at 3. It's at 1.5 now. Like,
that's free money for Iowa State. That's what that means.
What time slot is this game?
This is a late game. I'll look. I'm pretty sure it's a late game on Thursday.
It's not 9 p.m.
10:09. 10:09.
10:09 for you guys.
On Thursday. Roman, since you like to look up stats on the spot, when was Iowa State and Illinois' last game? What was their second round game? What day was it played?
Oh boy, I mean, sure.
Was it Saturday or Sunday?
Illinois.
Do they have enough rest, Roman?
I just like lost here in the thing, but no, Saturday. It should be Saturday.
Illinois was Saturday, and Iowa State was also Saturday.
Okay. I mean, Illinois is that burned me by half a point because at half it was freaking -5.5, and this is the game that burned me because I took them for the first half. So
yeah, I'm still saying that the bookies are probably just looking at the late start. But for me, I'd pile Iowa State.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now we're into Friday. We're into Friday. We got Marquette versus NCAA darlings, DJ Burns, North Carolina State.
NC State's made me some money, man.
Yeah. Good dog. Very well behaved dog. No obedience training necessary.
The wolf pack is ready. That's what he's saying.
Wolf pack is ready.
He hears the coyotes howling in the background. He's ready to go.
I mean, Raleigh is literally right up the street here, so they're going crazy over this team, man.
I think this is really square, but I want to take NC State again +6.5. So those are my quick thoughts, and I think this is for sure under.
Under.
151 looks high. This is going to be a bang down, beat down type of 4-point game either way.
It's like a 62-56 kind of score.
Yeah. Frank, thoughts here?
NC State all day. They've been rolling. They're playing good basketball. And I'd even go money line. I'd go money line NC State here instead of the plus the game.
Hey, you got an alt spread for us, Frank? Let's go alt spread.
No.
Money line dog all day. Yeah.
NC State money line. I think that's a good one. I think they do win a game by 2 or 3 points. Very tight, but I think NC State's going to pull out a big upset. There's always one every year. This is the lowest ranking seed left, NC State. So usually what happens is the lowest ranking team ends up pulling the upset in the Sweet 16, gets the Elite 8. I'm seeing NC State do that again. That's what it looks like.
+240 for NC State ML, guys.
Blasting it. I mean, you guys have me sold. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have to just go with what you guys are saying here.
Okay.
Like I like everything you're saying. I like a lot, which means it's a completely awful bet, and it's 100% Marquette by 15. But I love everything you guys have said, and I'm definitely taking this money line. Like I've been taking so many money line dogs, and some have come through big time, but I'm just gonna have to watch this money burn. Absolutely.
Okay, so now there's 3 games left, boys, and I think these are all bangers. We'll start with the first banger. Houston Duke.
All right.
Big
What
one.
we got there?
This is another 1 versus 4 scenario that fits my stat. So I'm just going to ride the stat. Houston -4. I think that the right answer is probably Duke +4 or Duke ML. But give me Houston -4, more tough team, rebounds better than Duke. Duke, if you stop Jared McCain, I think it'll be pretty easy for you as Houston, and Jamal Shed should be able to do that. He's one of the best.
They don't have an answer for Shed, man.
Right. So
ACC don't have a defender to match up. I'm talking about their entire conference. That's to include RJ Davis.
Yeah, they just don't have it. So those are my thoughts. Houston, me -4.
Same. You don't even need to come to me.
How do we
I'm on
reconcile?
Houston too.
Frank, can you give us a Frank book spread on what this should be?
Yeah. Give us the Frank spread.
Frank spread on this.
Yeah.
All right, Houston -7. I think.
I really don't like Duke. I think this is the only blowout.
We can't
Other than UConn.
Bet with your heart.
Other than UConn, I think Houston absolutely demoralizes Duke. They're way, way better.
But so what happened? What happened against Texas A&M? That's what's like what happened?
It's a Texas versus Texas matchup, Roman.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about situational football or basketball or just
situational basketball. Texas versus Texas.
Now it's important. I see.
There's
in this game, yes. In this game, it is.
So in some games,
you want to know?
Care about things like Texas versus Texas, but we don't care about the rematch of last year's matchup, where one team has a giant, massive, ginormous chip on their shoulder.
It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with Texas and Texas. I'll tell you what that game had everything to do with was poor officiating. Probably the worst officiated game I've ever seen in an NCAA tournament game. Literally every fucking player had 4 fouls with like 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. They had multiple people foul the game. They were in the double bonus like way early in the second half. It was insane. It was the worst officiated game I've ever seen.
Wait, so this is a good. Let's zone in on that.
Roman, I'll let you go, but I just got an important text. Shohei Ohtani's bookie just messaged me, and he said that he bet Houston versus A&M for $700 million. So that's probably why A&M won. So that just answers it all for you. But
all right.
Go ahead.
It's also surprisingly Frank has the same bookie too. Interestingly enough, that's why these lines are so fucking crooked. But what are we thinking about the officiating in this tournament? Because like I go in a score chat, as you guys all know, as the viewers should know, I don't even watch games. I just go in a score app and I just read that fucking chat, and to me, and I'm going Twitter. And to me, it seems like the fans are saying this is the most rigged March Madness we've ever seen. Like the worst officiating, the most rigged. And I mean, sometimes I look at it, and I'm like,
South region's is suspect.
Yeah, dude.
That South region's got the worst refs.
What I think.
Have you never heard of Mattress Mac before, Roman? I know you're new to Texas, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be on a billboard for $10 million betting Houston.
Yeah,
and
Mattress Mac, he has to get to the finals, but he also has to lose the finals. That's his arc.
Yeah, that's his thing. So Houston wins by 15 points. Get over it. Duke's never winning the game. Houston advances every single time. It's like 100%. Very close to 100% on this game.
I like that. I do like that. But in terms of officiating, I mean, like Duke's games have also been told that they have been poorly officiated, right? That the Duke has been getting every
they've been
call.
getting favorable whistle, man.
Yeah, they get anything they want. Basically, they're
it's the name on the front of the jersey.
So then how are we? So see, this is what I'm confused, right? We're saying that it was a worst officiated game, clearly, right? Like you're saying,
you refs.
But I mean, refs are refs. I mean, they wear the same uniform every damn game. But we're saying that last
They
time
move
the
locations,
refs fucked
You're
Houston,
right.
and now
Yeah.
we're saying refs are just pampering Duke. So what are we saying? Like, where are the refs, right?
Well, it don't matter who they bring in there. They can bring fucking Al Capone's bookies in there to make sure that it's rigged the right way. It doesn't matter because they ain't got no answer for Houston, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing is,
Houston is
this
getting
time-
there, dude.
This
Houston's
time,
always getting there.
They gonna
This
go.
time
They gonna go to the shed and get that ass whooped. That's what's gonna happen.
they got one guy that's a fucking junkyard dog, and Duke cannot deal with it. They got junkyard dog versus a guy that sings and paints his fingernails. You know what the fuck is gonna happen, dude.
Have you seen the guy with the pigtails on Houston play yet, Roman? The guy with the pigtails?
He doesn't watch games, dude.
I was at a bar. I saw some Houston stuff at the bar. I saw they play well. I did like the intensity. They played like an NBA type of like intense offense. Lots of ball movement. Lots of movement of the guy with the ball. Reminded me of some of the Spurs type of.
Quit screaming basketball
Spurs.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, lots of movement, lots of ball movement, lots of movement with the ball, lots of cutting and passing, aggressive. But then again, if you're cutting with the ball and the ref is fucking blowing the whistle and you're just going to the charity stripe, I don't know. You guys gave me no confidence. You guys didn't give me any confidence on this ref situation. And I think this ref situation, given that, everything is it's giving me some pause. It's telling me that Duke is just going to ride the striped zebra all the way into the Elite Eight.
Okay. So Roman's on Duke. We're all not on Duke.
I'm just on Team Ref, and I think this is just like the ref. Like the refs are coming for this game to. Especially for everything you said, like all the mattress match, Otani's bookie, like all the degens are coming in there. They're like, Duke, fuck Duke. They're going on that plus, and Vegas is dialing up their favorite zebras and are gonna take your fucking money with some bullshit free throws and some bullshit calls. I really think this game has I would stay away. This game has
Roman's
potential.
acting like they're bringing fucking Donaghy back to ref this game.
Yo. So speaking
like a pile on Houston.
Speaking of refs, we got the number one ref player in the fucking country, Zach Edey. He's coming up against
because he fucking whistles, dude.
Yeah, he's coming up against Gonzaga, Roman's favorite team. And I'm gonna go with my boy Roman here. Support the squad.
Pile Zags.
Pile Zags. Zags are my winning. Zags are just winning.
Zags ML. Purdue is fucking awful in the Sweet 16. Matt Painter, Fat Painter is Fat Matt is fucked in the Sweet 16. He's like 1-8 in his life in the Sweet 16. So he's not a good coach in those time periods.
He's worse than Rick Barnes.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, Rick Barnes is a great coach. You and I discussed this at length,
yes,
Josh.
Yes, we did. I'm saying for all the Fire Barnes guys, that Matt Painter is worse.
Yeah, he's the only one worse.
I definitely think Gonzaga here, guys.
Okay.
Oh, it's a team lock. We're all on Zaga.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Purdue's going to the Elite Eight.
Purdue is going to the Elite Eight.
Purdue lift the national championship.
But Gonzaga probably loses by 4 here, so it's to me it looks good for Gonzaga.
Yeah,
okay.
I like Zaga.
I think again, this is the one game I might go over because we might see some big time foul fest at the end.
Zach Edey's probably going to be, 42 of 43 from the line,
Yeah. Dude, so Roman, I don't know if you watch Purdue or you've seen it on the score chat, but this guy is like Jesus Christ of getting the fouls. So he gets some nonstop. He's basically 7'5" James Harden reincarnate, and he's a center that can hit free throws.
Oh boy,
He's
that's the
half
worst.
he's half Asian from Canada, and he just
80
has all
80%
the
of his 80% of his offense comes from the free throw line, bro.
yeah. It's
Wow.
it's sick.
And then the rest of it is all shots within 6 feet of the basket.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like perfect for that. And I wouldn't be surprised if our 10 o'clock start is actually a fucking 11 o'clock start
11,
because
yeah.
of all of the
Fouls.
fouls on Zakidi.
Why did they? Is this the first year they're doing this crap?
No,
No,
they do it every year.
they do it every year.
Man, this
It's been happening for like 50 years, Roman.
This
Let
is
them
BS.
rock.
I don't like it at all. That's what I like about college football. Like college football, like they wouldn't do
12
that.
p.m.
Like, they would never do that, even if it's like double overtime. I don't know, Bama, Clemson, like whatever. No, they're like next game starts on
Necessarily
time.
true. The college football playoff starts pretty late, like the championship game.
Yeah, dude.
it starts pretty
The
late.
college football playoff ended at 1 a.m. on New Year's Day.
Oh, right, but they're not delaying another game because of
No,
another
they're not.
game. Like they're not doing that kind of BS.
No, they're just making kids that want to watch the game only be able to watch till halftime because they have to wake up and go to school the next day, and working professionals have to cut it off at halftime too because they have jobs.
But luckily, this is a Friday game, so you can deej well into the night and chase with Japanese soccer when you lose.
Yeah, it's not on a Monday night like the CFP.
With Otani's bookie, I'm sure he has all the Korean and Japanese games ready to go.
Okay, boys.
Boys, it's the one.
It's fitting. We end with the best team in the country, Tennessee.
Woo! Your future
Creighton.
champions.
We got Creighton Creighton plus 2.5, Tennessee minus 2.5, over under 143.5. I'm gonna start with the top vol here. So TV, give it to us.
Hey, I've been very critical of Rick Barnes. How he's really struggled to smash through that glass ceiling of the Sweet 16 at his time with Tennessee. But not only does he smash through it, he skyrockets all the way to the Final Four. Balls lock, winning the region. Hopefully, it's against Purdue. Would love to see it. We owe those idiots anyway. And I'm going all Tennessee here. Creighton, they had to play an overtime game. They're not as rested as Tennessee. And this is a very interesting matchup in the sense that both teams will be going into this game with a strong yearning to make the Final Four, because Creighton has probably as equally frustrating results in March as Tennessee has had under Rick Barnes, and the stress factor for both teams to get there is going to weigh heavily on this game. But at the end of the day, and I've been saying it for since November, since I sent it to the Rocky Top group chat, we got him. We got Dog Connect, and they don't. So you got a guy that's going to be able to carry that team Friday night and take us to the Elite Eight. So I like Tennessee here. They're going to cover. And I think the 143 is about right. So I'm going to go under a little bit. I think it's going to be another defensive rock fight. But this is going to be one of those Tennessee games where I think you're going to see 4 or 5 guys score between like 8 to 10 points, and Dalton Connect scoring like 30.
Frank, your thoughts?
I gotta agree with Josh on it, honestly. I know Roman was very down on Creighton to start the tournament. He said these guys are terrible, they suck, they're gonna lose. They are in the Sweet 16, but I think this is the time that Creighton loses. I don't think this is a tough matchup for Tennessee if they come ready to go.
Well,
I just don't see people on Creighton. They're just not as good as Tennessee at the end of the day.
Yeah, so this is for me, I think this is a Jack Gorky kind of spot. Jack Gorky, the Oakland player. Basically, if you're able to close out 3-point shooters, which Tennessee actually does very well.
very, very well.
Yeah, I think they're probably one of the top 5 teams in the country doing it. I'm not looking at the stats, nor am I going to look them up like Roman would. But I can tell you just from observation doing, I don't know, 20-something Tennessee basketball game reactions that this is their strength, defending three-point shooters.
I mean, look at Alabama. Look at Auburn.
Yep. Look at those games.
Kentucky, I know we split with them, but I mean, that second game I think was more of an aberration, right?
Yeah, so. And I think this minus 2.5 is disrespect from Vegas. So they're trying to fuck with us. They're trying to do this. Why don't you guys play at 1 a.m.? Why don't you guys play underground? Like they're trying to do as much bullshit to us as possible, and we're gonna fuck back. So they're trying to fuck us. We're gonna fuck back. Roman, close it out for us. What are we saying?
Back all day. I mean, look, I think we've talked at length about this with Josh after the last reaction. So, the only thing that
was a good show, Rome. By the way,
it was a good show, and I think you brought up the one point that concerns me is that is Creighton's 3-point bonanza something that Tennessee can keep up with offensively, but. Look, this is where Rick Barnes absolutely has to come through. I mean, that's what I think has to happen, right? Like,
make or break.
Yeah, you have to be, for example, you look at which teams have beaten the Warriors, right? There's certain teams that have been able to beat the Golden State Warriors, even at their best, right? Like my favorite, which I bring up all the time, the Miami Heat. Not because we have the best shooters, right? But because we have Eric Spoelstra, one of the best coaches in basketball. And he's able to disrupt that 3-point offense that Golden State puts together. I think Tennessee, like Naveen said, look, if we can get Rick Barnes, if Rick Barnes can, make it into a rock fight. Like honestly, just make it an ugly game, make it therefore a low-scoring game. The line isn't that high, right? For a team that is, let's say this was let's say this was completely mismatched, and we had Creighton's going to come in there and just chuck threes all day long and just destroy Tennessee, right? I think the line would have been higher, right? If that is just the way that it was going to go, because if one team can just go crazy off the three and the other team can do nothing, then we're going to see a much higher scoring game there. We are seeing a bit of a lower total here, and I think that comes to show that the bookies think that Tennessee is going to be able to cause some havoc, make this game, go play this game out in the trenches. And I think if they do that, I think this is a game for Tennessee to take home and see them in the Elite Eight. If they don't do that, if Rick Barnes can't figure that out, especially look, this game could be won or lost in the first 2-3 minutes of the game. That's what I think is very likely here. Like if Creighton comes out.
Oh, you say 2 or 3 minutes in the game?
Yeah. Listen to this. If this
There's a lot of minutes in this game.
It's true, but there are many games that are lost in the first 2-3 minutes. If the team if it's a good 3-point shooting team, if they come out and they just start shooting 3 for 3, 4 for 4, 5 for 5 from the 3-point line, and the other coach isn't calling a timeout. He's not doing anything about it. The players that are shooting the three, they get the confidence. They think their balls are the biggest balls in the world. And guess what? You're just chasing the entire fucking game. Okay. Your guys are stressed out. You don't have those 3-point shooters that can just go hot. You're just going to be down 10, down 8, down 11, down 8. And the game is just going to go away from you. And you're never going to really get into the game and impose your style of play onto the opponent. So that's why I think the first 2-3 minutes here are going to be critical. If Creighton cannot get off to a hot start, if Tennessee and the coaching staff can make sure that the game is close, that these guys are taking bad shots, they get bad looks, they're not getting comfortable and confident in their shot, that's what's going to make this game go the Tennessee's way. If Creighton comes out and their first 3 possessions, 3-3-3, it's going to be a long night for Tennessee. So Rick Barnes better be ready. First 3 minutes, absolutely crucial. Let's get this win. Let's get this W vote.
Yeah, I think Barnes' ball is gonna work itself out, and it's gonna translate well. And one of the biggest points of reference I have is Kim English. And I know Kim English might not mean a lot to you guys, but Kim English was on Rick Barnes' staff. He was assistant coach at Tennessee for about 5 years. He was there for the Grant Admiral time, the Keyshawn Johnson time, and then Kennedy Chandler. Then he went and left. Providence was 2-0 against Creighton this year. So the Barnes brand of basketball works against Creighton. And I think we've had enough time to prepare and do a great scout. So, yeah, I think Tennessee's going to win ugly. That's what they do. And
That's what they should do.
Yeah, Barnes ball is going to work out. And we're going to, like I said, I think Final Four run is a lock. And hopefully we can punch Zach Edey in the nose in the Elite Eight.
Perfect.
Yeah. It looks like free throws at the end to seal it by like 6, 7 points, 8 points for Tennessee.
All right. So Frank's line, Tennessee
you love it,
minus
Roman?
5.5.
6.5 is the sweat. 6.5 for Tennessee is the real line.
I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to take the alt line here. Tennessee by 4. I want to parlay.
Take 6.5. 6.5 is the right number. Tennessee wins by 7 points.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
and
I think that's right.
You can parlay the under and an alt minus. I think the bookies don't think those are correlated, right? Because you score more, but you need to go under.
You can always do live, right?
Can you do player props for college basketball?
You need a very degenerate bookie. I can do it.
I know they're trying to outlaw. The NCAA is trying to go to federal court with it. But Jonas Adu. I know Creighton's got a good big, but he's a finesse big, and Adu does work against finesse bigs.
So you think over 10 rebounds, or what do we?
Yeah, I'm thinking he's gonna have a double-double, man.
Woo! All right, I like it. I actually like it. I think we should just put that as the bet of the week. Adu a double-double at this game.
Okay. All right, boys. Just wanted to wrap this podcast up. We went through Sweet 16. Hopefully, we will be back for Elite Eight.
Tomorrow night or Friday night we'll be reacting, right?
Friday night we're going to be reacting. I know it's going to be a late one, so maybe we'll start sometime in the second half, and just like watch along the end with you guys, clench our collective buttholes together.
What time is the Tennessee game ending?
Hopefully, it's like a blowout, and
dude. So I don't know. Sometime like Eastern time, like 12:30, I would guess.
Okay.
1. So
maybe performance enhancers for 12:30 game.
Yeah.
In the morning.
They'll definitely be talking to me on a straight tequila night for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. I like that.
Perfect. I don't think we've seen Josh drunk to this podcast yet. It was just only Andy, right? And myself too.
Andy Bills.
Andy's been sloshed a few times.
we need sloshed Andy back. How do we get him back?
Where did Andy go? Is Andy is he on a milk carton somewhere?
He disappeared.
Has he been infected by? Is he a drug mule for P Diddy? Like, what's going on? Is he all right?
He's currently lost in. He's lost in like Midtown Manhattan somewhere. I think he went to a Baccarat game last night in Chinatown, and he's just fucking gone. Nobody knows where he is. Yeah. Nobody knows where he is. He's gone.
Okay.
He'll show up like 3 days from now.
For Frank, Josh, Roman, and myself, this has been Locky Top Sports. Thank you for watching. Go Vols.
Elite Eight.
See you guys.